right now, I'm back here with Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair, where the veil has lifted, so to speak, where they're getting to figure out that it's a computer simulation and strange things are going on, or if not a full computer simulation, some AR or VR or whatever. And this room, which is totally safe and good looking.
By the way...
Yes?
Huh? Where did everyone go?
You mean all the dead people?
Everyone?
What? Something's wrong. What did I do? No, that's not it. I'm not the weird one. What's really weird is the way the screen keeps breaking into pixels and falling. I mean, not the screen, my vision. This world. Sure, I can agree with that. Days left 0. So is the timer runs at 0, that just means the simulation turns off? Is that what it is? I didn't realize we were quite that close. I guess it did say 8 hours only a few hours ago. Sure, I'm equally concerned about this. Yes? Oh, do go on. Stage clear? Right. Chapter 5. Smile it open the name of despair. End. Surviving students. Who knows? Could be 5, but we can't be sure. To be continued. Danganronpa? Oh, I didn't even. I was hoping for like a glitchy Danganronpa. Yay! Abandon all hope. Finish chapter 5. You obtain a present gamer's backpack. You know I did. Every gamer has a backpack like Chiaki's adorable one. Chapter 0. Heading to the school trip. So are we going to go back in time and prologue this bench before we head on to chapter 6? I think someone's ate something a little foul earlier. It would be wrong to say it was swaying from side to side. It was actually shaking rather intensely. The room I was in, it was shaking from side to side. It says question mark, so actually it might not be Hajime. I'll just keep voicing it as Hajime, though. Oh, that's it. What if it's Makoto? Let me just guess it's Makoto and start voicing it as Makoto.
The shaking was quite regular. Just when you thought it was a series of small shakes, it would suddenly shake violently. And every time that happened, I'd have to steady myself with my foot. I couldn't stand up very well, but for me, it was comforting. I never thought not knowing what to expect could be so fun, so I was feeling rather excited.
That's probably not Makoto.
But I figured I'd get bored of that feeling soon enough.
That's probably more like Nagito, if anyone.
That's what I was expecting. For me, a person who is loved by talent, detecting regularities among irregularities wouldn't be that difficult. How boring.
No, it's Nagito. I should have been voicing it as Nagito. Oh, no, it's not Nagito. I'm speaking to Nagito. I don't know who it was. Anyway, I'll just voice it neutrally from here on.
Do you like ships?
On the other side of the dark room, I heard a voice. It was clearly directed at me.
You looked like you were having fun, so that's what I assumed. You do like ships, right?
Ships? Oh, that's right. That's it. So this is a ship.
You just realized that now?
Is it really that funny?
Hey, if you want, care to talk a little? The silence was starting to bore me.
Instantly, I saw his true character. The overfamiliar attitude, the friendly smile, but under that thin skin I could detect a foul, offensive odor, like some kind of putrid slime. In a sensible way, of course. How should I put this? It was a smell exclusive to those who were already finished. So is this Hajime, and he's like the ultimate intuition or something?
Nice to meet you. I'm Nagito Komaeda. Anyway, lucky me. It's been a while since anyone was willing to talk to me, so to share a room with a person like that. Yep, I'm definitely lucky.
Lucky? Ah, so that's your talent then. What a boring talent.
A boring talent, huh? Well, that's exactly what it is. But for someone I'm meeting for the first time to say that so suddenly.
That's because I have luck as well. Even I possess a talent as boring as luck.
Possess, huh? I'm starting to get really interested. Who are you? You're obviously from Post Peak Academy too, right? So you're one of us? Oh, that's weird. This is the first time I've ever seen you.
Makes it sound like it is Makoto then, but I'll just keep voicing it neutrally until they tell us.
Hey, can you tell me why you're here? How did you end up here?
How boring.
Sorry, I'm often told I'm terrible at making conversation.
Not you. This world.
Huh?
This world is full of boring people. People who lack talent stick together and oppress those who do possess talent. Even though they know they're insignificant, they don't try to acknowledge their true superiors. Is this Junko maybe speaking? I'll just keep voicing neutral. They are profoundly desperate to drag them down to their level, and because of these bastards, this world has come to a deadlock. This world has stopped evolving. How boring.
Well, the world is shaped by the will of the majority. It makes sense that it bends to those who lack talent. That's why we're in our present situation. Perhaps, does that have anything to do with the reason you're here?
Boring people make no contributions to the world, not even a speck of dust. That's why my teachers taught me that a certain degree of selection must be performed.
Looks like they had high expectations for you, huh? That's completely different from me. But what are you planning to do? Now that you've ended up like this, there's nothing you can do, right?
Listen well, using people is a talent too. It is now my turn to use that person, just as they used me in the past.
That person? Are you talking about ultimate despair? But how? I mean, they're already...
I have it with me, the contribution that person left to me. Even now it rests in my pocket.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely lucky. I can't believe I'm speaking with someone as amazing as you. Then, will I be able to see her again?
Oh, he's got nails like Junko's, or like the ones that were on Mukuro's body. So does it mean it's really Mukuro Ikisaba and she imposted Junko and then put Junko's body back in? I don't know. I'm pretty sure the reason that we've got the nails here though is and the bandages. We're implying this is the ultimate imposter we're speaking to here.
Then will I be able to see her again? Will I be able to see the person I hate with every fiber of my being again? And this time, will I be able to kill her this time? The person I hate so much?
So is it Mukuro going for vengeance on Junko or something? Hate? Then explain your hand.
This?
The end of that bandage is a woman's hand, right?
My hand. It's... Good God. It's the hand of a woman. What has this vile bastard done to me?
If that's the greatest of his crimes, there's no problem.
I gave you
It's
a woman
okay
hand.
to have a woman's hand.
Isn't it amazing? I can't move it, of course. I mean, it's not my hand after all. But even now, it still hasn't rotted. Hey, maybe that means it's becoming one with me.
All right, Liquid Ocelot. Let's tone it down a bit.
Isn't it amazing? I've successfully become one with ultimate despair, my sworn enemy.
I see. So you salvaged the body. You really are a boring person.
I don't want you to misunderstand. I just see her as my enemy, you know? Because she's my sworn enemy, because I hate her so much. That's why I took her power. And for that, Wait, huh? Do I hate her? Huh. That's strange. Huh?
The bandage being Mikon-esque, of course, and this ha thing is something she said also.
Look out the window. We're finally here. You're starting to see it too, right? That's Jabberwock Island, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? I wonder what's going to happen on that island once we get there.
What's going to happen? I can already predict what will happen. I already know because I am loved by talent. But no matter what happens, it's of no concern to me. I will not be able to participate in what lies ahead.
Really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to get along pretty well. Hey, can I see you again?
There is no reason we'll ever meet again. After all, you are boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me.
You really don't play along, do you?
No, it seems there's not a lot of that going on these days. Chapter 0, heading to the school trip, end. That was a nice short one. Good. Would that they were all that short. No, sorry. Back to Hajime.
What is this?
It's what you saw first.
It's a door. There's a door. A door? Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go?
Well, it doesn't give me a choice, so it looks like we're opening that door. Is it going to be back into the first room where we met everyone, or? It sure has that look.
Isn't this a classroom?
This looks like the room that Makoto woke up in the first game.
But even so, it's a very strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside the ancient room with everyone else. And I arrived at a place that looked like a trial ground, but then why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here.
By the way, handbook-wise, is it all more or less the same? Nothing's looking especially off right now.
It's just like before. We were all gathered in that classroom just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island, but where is this place? Is it somewhere on Jabberwock Island?
If anything, I would imagine we're still in the ancient ruins that we seem to get into. It's all looking pretty buggy.
Testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system. Am I on? Can everyone hear me? Okay, well then. Welcome to Hope Speak Academy, you guys. At this point, I shall explain the graduation exam to you all. So please assemble at the gymnasium immediately.
Did he say what I think he just said? Yes, he definitely said it. He said, "Welcome to Hope's Peak Academy."
I think it's going to be something weird like they're going to make us redo Chapter 6 from the first game just so that Mukuro can finally win or whatever. Or Junko or someone.
But why would this place be Hope's Peak Academy? And not just that, what is the graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
What is this? In a normal classroom, there'd be a window, but instead there's this iron plate bolted here. When I tried knocking on it with my fist. Looks like it's a pretty thick iron plate. Is this to keep us trapped? What the heck? This place where iron plates are covering the windows inside the classrooms. Is it really Hope's Peak Academy?
So I wonder if Nagito is, if the hand... Well, they say he said the hand was of his enemy, but maybe that, I assume we're trying to get at that the Nagito we knew was the ultimate imposter and was secretly Mukuro or Junko or something like that.
This is a surveillance camera. Why would there be a surveillance camera inside the school?
I'm not 100% on that, obviously, but that'd be my best guess.
I wonder, does this have the same purpose as the surveillance cameras on Jabberwock Island? If so, who's watching us? Is it whoever's controlling Monokuma?
A surveillance camera in a school isn't that odd on its own, is it? I mean, in the classrooms it's a little weird, I guess.
This clock doesn't have any hands. A clock without hands is meaningless. Why would something like this be in a classroom?
I don't know about meaningless, but functionless, effectively. Let's go! Old building, first floor. Oh, so we're still in some kind of simulation because everything's all buggy still.
Even the hallway doesn't feel like a school at all. What a creepy place. At least it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope's Peak Academy. Is this creepy place the Hope's Peak Academy that I've admired for so long? It's probably a building that Monokuma made to startle us, just like the funhouse. That's right, that's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gymnasium, right? It'll go, and it'll definitely clear things up.
And what about all this stuff? Oh, he doesn't have any thoughts about all the weird glitchiness at all. This is just normal to him. And there's the elevator to the trial room. I remember it all like the back of my hand. And here's the shop with the Monokuma dispenser. And here's the front gate. Here's the nurse's office. It's funny that Hajime seems to instinctively know where the gym is. Well, I guess if we're saying he was at Hope's Peak for some time.
The gymnasium is here, right?
It's got a sign, I guess.
All right, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. And so I brace myself and cautiously open the door.
Wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly, dibbity dobbity, bibbity wobbity. Chapter 6, this is the end. Goodbye, Academy of Despair. I don't know, we got another game after this, and a few spin-offs, but I don't know if it's the end, but...
I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of the door.
Oh, interesting. The save file reads now, Chapter 0 and 6, Island Life, Deadly Life. So there's not even going to be any. There's just going to be a body, presumably, somewhere.
I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. It was a normal gymnasium.
Damn right.
Yo, Hajime!
Yo,
You heard the announcement and came here too, right?
You guys did too, right?
What's going on?
Hey, what do you make of all this?
Monokuma said this place was Hope's Peak Academy or something?
that is...
That cannot be possible.
Well,
You're right.
Yeah.
Any way you look at it, it's impossible.
Hello! How does it feel to return to the long-awaited Hope's Peak Academy?
You.
Hey, where are we? Where'd you lock us up this time? What a shock! I just told you guys this is Hope's Peak Academy.
Of course not.
There's no way in hell that's true.
No.
Oh, but it is. I mean, this is definitely Hope's Peak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway.
What's left of it?
What?
Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope's Peak Academy fell to ruin.
Lies.
You were serious about that?
Stupid fool, I don't believe it.
But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserved to be ruined for.
What do you mean?
I don't like this.
Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed.
I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hostpeak Academy. You don't even feel surprised or nostalgic.
Fine.
Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. Someone? Enough with this bullshit! Just spit it out already! Where'd you take us, you bastard? No, I am not certain of my memories. I believe we entered the ancient ruin and...
In other words,
It means I made this Hostpeak Academy between the door to the ruin and the inside of the ruin. What do you mean between?
Hey.
What do you mean made?
what's this?
Oh my, are your minds getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy?
Also, I feel like a lot of heat has been thrown off of Sonia, even though she's been so weird the past, like, chapter and a half.
So sus.
And was always a little sus from her name being Nevermind, and the Junko-ish color scheme, and, everything.
Oh my, are your minds getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy? Good, very good. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to prove a little entertainment. Provide.
Entertainment. You're planning to make us do something, aren't you?
No way.
There's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that. It's just a simple graduation exam. Then what is the graduation exam?
Hey,
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate.
Are you
But on the
sure
other hand, I'm
about
worried
this?
about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. We're obviously going to get out. There's no way we'd stay here. This is annoying. Just hurry up and let us choose. Let us choose right now.
No.
You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet.
Main cast? Presumably some characters from the previous game.
Hey,
Meaning you guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives. So enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world.
What do you mean?
I've dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Hostpeak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is gonna hate me. So please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip.
Is there any reason we have to believe you?
And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What is going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow, I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey.
Like, he kept insisting that this place is Hostpeak Academy. Well, that's impossible, right?
What are you saying?
How do we make it back to Hostpeak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible.
It cannot
There
be.
is no place for Hostpeak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island.
I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this.
What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on the island. This building is really Hostpeak Academy? This is the Hostpeak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world is going on? Damn it. Why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hostpeak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope. If that's what you're thinking, just stop it. Listen carefully. The only humans worthy of becoming Hope possess amazing talents and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hostpeak Academy that you couldn't even see that? You're just some nobody from the reserve course who never had a talent to begin with. A nobody who forgot he was a nobody. That's all. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why? Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime? Did something happen? Huh?
Hey, bastard.
Now's not the time to zone out.
Sorry. It's nothing.
I don't really get it, but is that all?
I'm gonna
As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what it means?
Hey.
Just what the heck is Monokuma anyway? He's not part of the Future Foundation, right?
If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation?
Even though Chiaki and Monomi are gone, our situation hasn't changed one bit. Which means the Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of.
You serious?
So they're not world editor? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma!
However,
Did Monokuma say they were the same thing? I guess probably at some point, but not in a way that's stuck.
The Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monomi never once denied that.
damn it.
I mean, she didn't really, wasn't doing much outright denying or confirming much. She always got cagey whenever things were brought up. Even if they're our allies, they might not just be allies.
Maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Chiaki said she could not betray the Future Foundation, but if she were still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help.
So what should we do?
Damn it.
Well, that's obvious. If we're gonna get out of here safely, we have to do that graduation exam, right?
So annoying.
Graduation exam, huh? I'm not really good at taking exams.
Well, I guess it's better than people dying.
Jeez.
Monokuma said something about his field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been?
All right.
I'm gonna do it!
Prepare yourself.
Like,
Yeah, we might be able to learn about something. About Hospic Academy, about ourselves. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we could just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine. Hey, we can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right? If that's the case, let's all leave this island alive by any means.
Of course.
I don't know by any means. Let's think carefully about our words here.
Hell yes!
He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Or this place really is. What's happened to Hope's Peak Academy? None of that matters. What's important is I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But Monokuma should already know that that's what we're thinking, so why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island.
Hey.
So what are we gonna do? Can we start already? What are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this weird-ass building?
even so.
I don't think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this damn building. Well, just go ahead for now!
Whoa!
Hey, you're already going?
Jeez.
I mean, she's been itching to go for like 10 minutes. What is that idiot thinking running ahead without being cautious?
Man.
She obviously isn't thinking about anything.
However.
It will be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives.
All right.
So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at the green light.
If we stopped at the green light, we'd never reach our goal.
Jeez.
Kana already took off on her own. Might be faster if we split up and look around too. Like Sonia said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. Then let's get this over with and go home.
Later.
I'm sure no one else will die. I'll go on ahead. I'll see you guys later. With those brief words, Vihiko left the gymnasium.
Excuse me.
I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me.
Sonia took a deep bow and then left the gymnasium.
Oh my.
Miss Sonia!
Miss Sonia.
Please don't leave me! I'll be in danger if I'm left alone!
Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed and left the gymnasium. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more, and it's gonna end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual peaceful everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance toward that hope. Even though I don't understand, and that a lot of horrifying things keep happening. For the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home. Investigate. And we're doing the, once again, the up-tempo investigation theme. Nothing to notice, observe in here. Oh, except a Monokuma. Is this finally the one with the surfboard? Oh, never mind.
I knew you could do it.
You're a new kind of bear. I don't think I've ever had it in this game where I've noticed observe. This game or the first one where I noticed observe and there's not a single thing blinks. Usually there's at least a camera or something. Maybe in the first game, one of the bathrooms or something. Oh, we're up here now, huh?
Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. I'm not gonna fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. So presumably we're gonna go to the garden and see the corpse there? This hallway, there is a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement.
I am concerned.
Is it just me?
No, it is not. We do have the map, as it were. Code falling from the sides here, and we're not allowed in the makeshift morgue. The garden's got to be it then. Although, this room is also the same color green as the garden on the map. That's a bit weird. Oh, we are allowed in the dojo, are we? In fact, that's the only place we're allowed at the moment. Looks like one of Hifumi's little manga there, like around. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. What is this? Oh no, maybe not. Looks like Chiaki. Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma? Why is a manga with such a suspicious looking title laying out in the open like this?
Let's start with history first, class. Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person.
So just as I thought, Monokuma made this. Until it explains how suspicious it looks. And the little cat thing, it looks like her backpack. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It looks Chiaki-ish, right? This figure? It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy.
Hope's Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope on the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. So why is it that Makoto and friends did not know about this in the first game? Was it only added after? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just retconning it, but you would think when they were all like, there's no entrance exams, they would say, there's no entrance exams unless you're one of the Reserve Corps students. Nevertheless, Hope's Academy received an endless stream of applicants. So they're saying the reason this whole funding thing has happened is just because their funding was going down for reasons, okay? The explanation is there's literally no explanation whatsoever. Got it. Nevertheless, Hope's Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope's Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Academy. Hope's Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. So we're saying the murder that happened in here was a separate from the tragedy, where if the murder that happened here in the gruesome-looking room is separate from the events that kicked off the world purge or whatever. The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. Plus these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga, the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students, right?
But hold on.
That's weird! Oh, you're here again. And I think that's weird is you, of course. Huh?
Hey,
Why did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So, I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that, too. What do you want me to say?
by the way,
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps
I
students.
got it.
Or you willingly sealed those memories yourself? Huh? You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though. Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
Come on.
When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a Reserve Corps student. Damn it. What the heck? All right. Reserve Department has been added to the Truthful section of your handbook. And how many of those do we have, by the way? Oh, that's the only one. So it's going to be a bit like Chapter 6 before, where we're less caring about a murder, and more the trial is about solving a mystery that is not a murder mystery. A department populated by Reserve Corps students who took general entrance exams in contrast to the main department, which recruited ultimate level students established to secure funds. So Nokito was right about that, if we're believing this. You know, Monokuma did say we could trust it all. There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional looking wood block key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. There's a straw post. I guess that means it was used for training. The cherry tree is proudly displaying its full blossoms. The falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Yoko and Pekka were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. For their sakes as well, I will definitely go home. The target seems pretty far away. If the production team had more time, there could have been a minigame here. Wait, what am I saying? Teehee. It's armor and a helmet. Did the map developers design this to reflect a Japanese dojo? So he's starting to figure out that he's in the simulation, or is I guess that's like a faint memory that's coming back to him. So he was new at some point. Does this monitor serve the same purpose as the monitors on the island? If so, this would be under Monokuma's supervision, right? Is this place really Hope's Academy? Damn it, what's going on? Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Academy by Monokuma, huh? Even in this manga, Hope's Academy shut down and ended their illustrious history. The incident that triggered the tragedy. Apparently it was called the Tragedy of Hope's Academy. Did that incident really happen? Regardless, I won't learn anything just from this manga. The only thing I really learned about was the Reserve Department. Apparently that department was built just to collect more money for Hope's Academy. I was one of those Reserve Corps students too, right? But I didn't remember. I completely forgot that I was part of the reserve department. The Future Foundation supposedly took away just our school life memories.
So I was examining that, opened up one of these other rooms now. This room's open. And there's a case over here. It's like a crime film or something. The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma. Oh, Manga for Morons again. It's another edition.
This is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Wasn't The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga, too? That's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. The name written on the, it was written on that picture painting that was supposedly one of the founders. Izuru was a genius known as the symbol of hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they had been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction.
So, the gruesome murder that happened in that one room was just some guy who was the ultimate hope, did some murders for reasons we don't understand, and that made the Reserve Corps students angry because he was receiving special treatment in spite of being a murderer, and so they started an uprising, separate from the tragedy, which was the murders, separate from the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, which was the murders. So their uprising was the tragedy, done because of, I don't know, it's just confusing so far.
And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident.
Man, can you imagine how interesting any of this would be to see instead of just read about 60 hours into the game? Well, really like 120 if we're counting Danganronpa 1.
The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited Danganronpa 0. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this?
There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy.
What irony! For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident, a talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent!
Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here it said that the Reserve Corps students in the reserve department began uprising. And what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that.
I mean, I still don't really understand what the reserve students' reasoning was either, if I'm honest, or what the extent of their uprising was, and how the ultimate despair pertains. Because the level of world purge we are imagining happened was not organized by a handful of students like a day after they found out they had been mistreated, right? That was already in motion somehow else, I imagine.
And we have learned about the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that?
Think it'll be some other random name we don't know, or it'll be Kyoko or Junko or Mukuro or Makoto, someone like a name we do know?
This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more
questions? Okay, that's what I thought it should say, but I read it as equations.
Mysteries just keep piling up. Manga for Morons, the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? According to this manga, the central figure behind this incident was a student named Izuru Kamakura, a genius and symbol of the Academy known as the Ultimate Hope. Izuru, known as a symbol of hope, was responsible for a sudden and horrendous incident. Izuru massacred 13 of Hope's Peak Academy's best and brightest student council members. To protect Izuru's superior talent, the Academy tried to cover it up, but it was later revealed by a certain person who wished to take advantage of the incident.
They had their opportunity when the dissatisfied reserves department students began rising against the academy, and that heralded Hostpeak Academy's destruction. This was the tragedy of Hostpeak Academy. This incident really happened to Hostpeak Academy? It's not just that. It says all the reserve corps students rose up at once. Was I a participant too? That's not possible. There's no way I'd do something like that. Metal slabs are covering portions of the classroom where windows would usually be. To go so far as to cover the windows like this. Does it really want to keep us locked inside? But why? The clock doesn't have any hands. What time is it right now? We can't see outside, so I don't even know if it's night or day right now. What room do you think will be open next? Tragedy room? Garden? Makeshift morgue? Just the biolab, I guess is what it's actually called. Biolab it is. Raw! Where's the lamb sauce? Gordon Ramsay, the ultimate chef.
What the hell is with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least that's what it looks like. But that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should just joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been cancelled during development or something. What am I thinking?
Arg! The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga from Oron's The Biggest, Most Awful, Most Tragic Event in Human History. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right.
That whole despair background is swirling here.
A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hostpeak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hostpeak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes.
Huh? I thought the tragedy of Hostpeak Academy triggered the uprising, not the other way around. I thought the tragedy of Hostpeak Academy was Izuru doing some murdering, and the mystery person brought this to light to the Reserve Corps students, who then uprose because they were realizing that they were being treated way worse than Izuru, who was a serial killer.
The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and the wanton destruction had become their only goal. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear, as if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etat began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain, just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hostpeak Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hostpeak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. Hey! You better not be talking about who I think you're talking about. Powerful, influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. It was because that was the end of this episode! Because we're all out of time. I'm not super into this. Just like reading pages and pages of very slowly drip feeding us even like little bits more about the tragedy. I have been waiting to know what this hell actually happened, just like in flat certain terms, since like chapter 3 of the first game. They just won't give it to me. They're taking so long to roundabout towards it that I feel like by the end of their explanation, I'm going to forget the beginning of their explanation. But fine, I'll hear it out. I can't believe we're adding another name into the mix though.
with this Izuru guy. I'm already all out of fucks to give about how Junko's involved in this. And you give me another name? Come on, man. Work with me here. How is this game still going? 52 hours! 52 hours! Anyway, I'm still pleased with this change of pace, which is fairly significant from things were starting to stagnate pretty hard. By chapter 5, I was feeling. So at least something is happening. The next video on the channel is going to be our finale of Okami. I've already recorded it, and we got to the end and did a thing. That was a good old game. After which I think I'm gonna change the playthrough order up a little bit following Okami's completion to make Man of Medan the double time slot, because the next game of Danganronpa 2, Ib, and Man of Medan that gets completed gets swapped out for Little Hope. So it would be weird if I want Man of Medan to be the next game we finish, ideally, because then we won't be playing 2 Dark Pictures games at once, because that will be strange and odd. So in order to facilitate that, I'm going to throw Man of Medan into the double slot, I think, after Okami's clearance by us. But that is all for now. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Everyone's gonna be out of here now. Peace! I can't tell if this feels familiar yet or not. Give me a whoosh like I was supposed to see something scary. We're in like some kind of post room, so you have to imagine there's some stuff here. Ah, this ought to be that white painting.